once again, pool fans. Welcome to the Simonis Aramis Arena and the 2019 International 9-Ball Open. We're live right here at the Sheraton Norfolk Waterside Hotel, our host venue for the past 3 years. And we also are happy once again to have Diamond Billiard Products as the official table of the International 9-Ball Open. We're almost there. We had 96 players start. There are 3 left. 2 going to play for you right now, and the winner of this match will go to the finals at 8:30 tonight against Max Lechner. So let's find out who that's going to be. From Scotland. Among this gentleman's long list of accomplishments include a 2-time champion of a very difficult event, and that is the Derby City Classic Bigfoot 10-Ball Championship. He's won that twice. He's won a whole bunch of other stuff, and you already know most of that. So let's go ahead and just tell you that he's sponsored by Perry Cues and Rasson Tables, known as Eagle Eye. It's Jayson Shaw. His opponent from Germany, the 2018 World 9-Ball Champion, currently the top-ranked player on the planet, sponsored by Predator Gabriels and Andy Cloth. Please welcome the killer, Joshua Filler. All right, still a race to 11. Good luck to both of you. Your official timekeeper is John Baker. Going to send it upstairs to Mark Wilson and to Double J, Jeremy Jones. Take it away, guys.
I'm truly looking forward to these 2 dragsters racing to 11 games because they are the most dynamic shot makers in my life. Mark Wilson here alongside me, Jeremy Jones. Jeremy, any pre-match thoughts for these 2?
Well, similar to what you said, Mark, looking forward to this match. 2 lefties, 2 of the best shot makers in the game. I was thinking about a lot of things about these 2 guys before the match started. Now, watch pace of play. I think if anybody's learning, trying to figure out a routine or a good pace around the table, I think both of these exhibit the perfect pace, meaning they take time on every shot, make sure they're doing what they want to do, but just don't overthink it very often either. It kind of really, like true athletes, go with their gut a lot of times and in the biggest moments, and I expect some big shots here in this semifinal match, and a big one here to start, even though he's got a big pocket, a missable combination. Now, do you slow roll this one, Mark, because that pink 4, and you're worried about maybe the 2 tying up on the 8 somehow, or do you hit it with a little more pace to try and free the ball up?
Jayson will hit it with pace.
Okay.
That's how he plays his best, and he also knows when you got 3 balls, sometimes if he goes too soft, they kind of tangle up and don't
free up
wobble
as much. Yeah.
Well, and they don't wobble on in either.
Right, they might clickety-click kind of and sit up a little bit is what Mark's talking about.
The 8 ball is kind of a funny ball, too, because it's not just hanging in the pocket, yet it's blocking part of the pocket.
Yeah, he'll want to get decently close to that 4, and that should be good enough, I would think.
And here on the overhead, I see now that he has ample room to get by there.
Yeah, but if he catches the top side of the 8, most likely it's not going to go. 8 not moved at all. So
right. There was plenty of pocket here on the overhead. I thought it was a little bit more obstructing.
Well, you saw earlier, as well as most of us did, that what a comeback we saw from Jayson here in his last outing against one tough Justin Bergman, and a guy that looked like to me was the favorite coming from the loser side to win the tournament the way Justin was playing.
And the 31-year-old Jayson Shaw breaks and runs the first rack. Nice way to start.
Yeah, and I think just as those guys lagged, I was watching both of them, how much they were paying attention to that lag, just because, between these 2 players, how devastating that opening break can be. It could be we see a 1-0 real quickly, but
right,
could be a 3 or 4 or 5-0 without Filler doing anything but lag.
Going back to the previous match, Bergman was ahead 8-3 and playing really well. and Shaw won a game 8-4, and then broke and ran a game 8-5. And I said, I don't think that's the last break and run out from Shaw that we'll see this match. He concluded that match with 2 consecutive break and run outs. Now opens this match with a break and run out.
Well, I've seen a little bit of variety as far as the break's concerned when it comes to Jayson on this table. Sometimes making the one on the side, sometimes the one getting past the side like it did there in the opening game and coming up for a nice shot. So,
and he's also switched between open and closed bridge today. He went to the closed bridge to begin with and went back to the open bridge.
Well, usually if he's like right there, he's powering up a little bit more. I think he's really wanting to ensure a complying break. I don't know if he's got the entire one here or not. It's real close. I don't think he does. Oh, maybe he does. Yeah.
If he's down here looking, he seems to think he can glide this one home.
He'd like to pop this in a little, like a little stun going to the rail, but if he's got too much angle, he may have to kind of roll it. I think he can stun to the rail. I think, okay, yeah, he doesn't have all of it. He's having to jump this ball just ever so slightly because he's still got his break cue out, which he does a lot of jump shots with. Wow.
Oh. Woo. Wow, that is fireworks supreme. Here we get the Predator replay. Look how pure this hits the pocket.
Yeah, and one thing like true champions looking to execute before his opponent does, meaning there was never really an option of a rollout in Jayson's mind, especially with FILLER following him right behind him. Okay, this got a little funny here with the 6.
He was a little bit casual earlier in the week about fouling balls, too. Sometimes, he
fouled with the bridge in a match that we were doing.
And he fouled with the 8-ball hanging up here against Kazakas, and nobody saw it but Kazakas. And then they replayed it, and it was a dramatic foul.
This is a funny shot here. He may have to take some distance here on the 4. Otherwise, I think he's taking a big chance. Okay.
Man, beautiful. Threads that cue ball between there.
And what's so impressive, I know he plays with that extension, but a big stretch on that 3 ball and got plenty of power on the cue ball to draw it clear of the 8 and the 5.
It's a funny thing how much cue power he does have, too, because it's fairly effortless power. He doesn't seem like he's hitting it that hard, and then, like a long draw or something, he just smooths it in, and that thing just lights up.
And we'll talk about 2 things that really help you be successful when cueing, and that's tip placement, staying where you want it, and tempo. And he really kind of, exhibits both of those most of the time.
And the other thing that you said the other day that's somewhat of an intangible, but you just said his timing is so good at that impact point. So,
yeah, that's, when you use good timing in sports, everything looks slower.
Yeah.
Because it's an acceleration through the cue ball or throwing a ball or whatever it is. So at impact, though, he's got plenty of speed going through there with the cue stick. And one thing that I like is just like I talked about with that jump shot, there was never really a thought of a rollout. It was just him settling himself and knowing that he's going to attack right here. And just like the guys these days, a lot of times will take on the kick shot instead of rolling out to a position that they're going to end up the worst. It's just always fun to me to watch the aggression in the great players.
Over the last couple of years, you can see this evolution, but as the total performance averages have risen to the extent that if you don't roll in here with a 9-15 above, you're really not that competitive. But because they're so good, now you can't play safety over a long period of time because they're good at kicking and rearranging the ball. So guys are taking on more challenging shots to diminish the opportunity for the other guy to have an influence in the rack. And then the other part of it is that they feel that they're not going to ever get that good of a shot in this rack again.
Yeah.
So you just got to gamble a little more because everybody's playing so much better.
Yeah. And I just always call it looking to execute before your opponent does. And it's a great way to think. It's a great way to improve and become a great player. It's really one of the only ways to do so. And that's why I also like these rules as far as, okay, so if this one dresses up, which Well, it didn't. I was going to say that might tell us what this match is going to be about with that cue ball catching both of those points over the side.
Yeah.
If he had gotten straight in, I was like, okay, I can kind of see what's going on to start this match. But we've had a lot of leads, especially right here on the TV table, that have been overcome. Okay, touchy little shot going by the 7 here because he wanted to put enough speed on the 1 to get the 1 to the back rail.
He overhit it. Okay.
Yeah.
But great effort. Good start.
And I'll tell you what happens there, Mark, is when you're going by a ball, or like say you're coming 2 rails in between a couple balls for position, a lot of times you'll put a little extra on the cue ball, just not intentionally even, knowing that you might get a collision with the cue ball a little bit, and you still want it to travel.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And then when you don't get that collision.
Right, yeah, it overruns on you a little. But he had to put enough on the 1 to get it secured to the back rail. That was really why he lost the cue ball a little bit. And I'd be surprised if he doesn't attack here because it's not so easy to get him up behind this 3. And I think he's going to make it.
You're going to see some astonishing shots, but what you won't see is a surprise safety. These guys go pure offense. No,
okay. No, I think that was intentional.
Well,
I don't see him hitting it thick, or if he's cutting at it, I don't see him hitting it that light speed, right?
He just had to defy me. He played a surprise safety there.
Yeah, and a pretty special one, it looks like.
Shut up, Wilson. It's a rare occasion that you see Filler default towards defense.
Well, with the 7 on the side rail here, I think he may be able to slow kick at this one, if not get right at it. Can he get right at it?
It looks like he's cutting it.
Okay. Straight down the table. 2 goes by the 8, no problem. Goes in the side.
All the momentum Jayson Shaw's way here. And that's the way you defang Joshua Filler. Just don't let him shoot.
Well, we talked about it in the early match. I can't remember exactly who Jayson was playing. It became a little closer than I thought it would. Dudadets, I think it was, early in the tournament that, for a guy like Jayson or Filler, not so much right now just because he's had such an incredible year, but that confidence of that little win last week at the Dismal Classic for Jayson, that's the kind of little things that all these top players, that's all they need is a little bit of extra confidence here and there. Obviously, going to stay in form. All right, not much here. Just kind of kill the cue ball off the 7 a little bit and hold a little angle on the 8.
These two will be teammates in just a few weeks at the Mosconi Cup for Europe.
Yes, they are, and you got to hats off to Europe with their finish here. They're going to have a top 3 showing, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd here at the International. Watch out. Watch out.
Now, he got a little errant with that. I don't think he worked really hard on that,
Well, the cue ball kind of hopped off the 8 a little, it seemed like. Kind of took a little different line than he anticipated. Oh, my.
Jayson knows he let one slip away there. Big difference, too. But better for the fans this way. 2-1 is our score, and we're going to get to see Joshua Filler do a little playing. Filler started the last match. Let's see. Lechner ran out the entire rack and tried to fire the 8 ball into the corner, and the cue ball followed it in because he got so straight.
Right.
So he started off with ball in hand on the 9, which is, made the 9. But then after that, it was Lechner just took off.
Well, I was watching a little bit on my phone, and then I came in at, I believe it was 8-8. Then he went on to win 11-8.
Broken ran the last 3.
Yeah.
I mean, they took a break at 8-8, and I'm thinking, he'd like to get something going here. Boom. Filler never shot again.
Well, I'm not sure I've seen anybody break the balls better than Lechner the entire week as far as a consistent break.
I mentioned that in the last broadcast, and then he started off a little sluggish with the break, and then Danny says at the end, he goes, I see what you're saying.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy's right.
Yeah, and really, because he started off behind in that match a little bit, and I think it was 3-1 or something like that. And that's one thing I was curious about, because Lechner, that from what I'd seen, had grabbed a pretty big lead in every match this week, which is impressive in itself. But
Yeah.
okay, I think he could go for the cross side, a long ways to get on the 3. I like just playing the 2 to the back rail and letting the cue ball float towards the 3. Just let it float. I wouldn't go two rails here, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's a little better, but I think the snooker is a little more difficult. Oh, he's going for the bank. Okay, and he played the cue ball pretty nice, trying to play a 2-way. The problem with this, at this level, Mark, is even when you put the 2 on the back rail against these guys, they usually figure out some type of shot to put you in a bad situation. So
Yeah.
can't really blame Josh for going for that bank. But with the 3 a little covered up, do you edge the 2 and run the cue ball a couple rails around? Or looks like he's powering up like for the bank. Didn't want that kiss. Well, you could see what he's doing here. He's thinking the 2's going to escape like it did, and the cue ball's getting stunned around here for maybe safe or position, but awful double kiss there.
I just think that Jayson has made up his mind that he's just going to
He's shooting.
go to the center of the ring and hash it out. So,
Well, a lot of that mentality is, because of how well they feel like they can be effective on the break. So, let me steal a game somewhere from kind of a funny position and then put some racks together. Just like it looked like he was going to do to open this match with 3 in a row and then miss the 9. So.
if I was Jason's coach, this would be funny. I would let him play all the tough shots however he wants to. And when he gets to the routine shots, that's where I'd be in his face and say, hold it. You got to bear down here on this 8-ball now. Because he's wanting to, he'll kind of coast and just rely on shot making. And then it ends up costing him a game like that last game.
9-ball, yeah. Okay, he's got to cheat the hole a little bit here. Shouldn't be a problem, though.
Nick Varner sitting in the attendance, marveling at what he's witnessing. So glad.
I think we had... we had a cell phone go off in the crowd, so Kenny will address that.
Jason Shaw's going to turn his phone off. Everybody got scolded. One of the players is looking at his to see if it's off.
Well, it's the cell phone era, and you have to deal with it no matter where you're at.
No, exactly. There's no sense being high-strung about it. It's going to happen.
Yep. The golf tournaments I used to go to, and they used to make you check your cell phone when you walked in, and now I'll watch the tournaments on TV, and everyone's got the phone out taking pictures. And finally realized a very difficult thing to police.
Yeah, 2-2. There was a women's pro tour event one time, and there was a cell phone going off, and the other player was at the table. Finally, Jeanette Lee answered her phone and said, look, I'm in a match. And after they'd scolded the crowd 2 or 3 times beforehand. So it's kind of funny.
Well, this is our semifinal coming to you live from the Sheraton here at Waterside here in downtown Norfolk. And whoever wins this match will go on to play the final. I believe it's at 8:30 Eastern tonight. I think the juniors is at 6:30, and then the international final 8:30. So we'll crown a champion somewhere around 10:30 tonight, something like that.
The standard of play throughout the week has never been higher. Even the match that Bergman lost here earlier, both players are well over 900. This last match that Filler lost, he played 905. Not quite good enough. You're competitive, but not quite good enough to win 905.
Okay, well, that's twice. He got the 2 kind of more on the side rail, not quite as much energy on the 2 to get up in front of that side pocket, but not going to hurt him in this spot. And really a very open table. See, he made 2 balls on the break. He'll play from the 3 to the 5. Just needs to carry a little angle. And that should do. And these are the types of shots that I think Filler has actually improved on. Just a little subtle, lighter hits.
Mm-hmm. He actually reminds me of Jayson Shaw 5 years ago. Not quite as polished, in terms of the kicking and safety game that Shaw is of today, but clearly got that type of talent and head in that direction. Danny DiLiberto always says, "How would you like to fade another 25 years of these two guys?"
Right. And and there's more coming. That's the funny thing about it.
I think Lechner has established himself as an elite player, not just a great player. This event, you can see.
Well, the young man has definitely put on a show, along with Filler here the last couple of years. Reigning World 9-ball champion, second in the World 10-ball. U.S. Open, reigning U.S. Open champion.
Yeah.
And now out to a 3-2 lead over Jayson Shaw. These are our last 2 U.S. Open champions right here facing off. Shaw won the previous title. That was the last year in Virginia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that year he won a couple matches I still can't even imagine.
He was halfway in the grave on a couple of them, and not by playing bad at all, just what his opponent was doing, and made up some 5 or 6 games in a couple different matches coming down to the end of the tournament.
2 years in a row against Copigny. Jayson was down 10-5.
10-5, yeah.
And ran out. Both sets. I mean, imagine that.
Well, he's probably still thinking about that 9 a little bit, knowing he's got to leave it behind, but it'll be easier left behind when he gets another open shot at the table. And unfortunately for Jayson, that could be a minute. Okay. Very light crowd, and a lot of people here, but light in humor here.
Oh, the mood,
Saturday.
yeah,
good mood. Okay, that 2's going to get it got kissed that time, so see if it gets kissed out of play, at least offensively. Well,
at best is the bank, I believe. I don't think he can cut it.
No, I don't think so either, but man, that bank sure looks
tempting.
Like it sets up all right. I mean, you're probably going to cut the 2 on the 8 and run the cue ball behind the 6. That's probably the shot.
Oh, I think he's banking all the way.
With the big pocket on the 4, you think he's banking? I don't blame him at all. He's got to draw the ball now. So a lot of speed on the cue ball. Oh, wow. He caught the 4. Oh, but he made the 4.
That's the thing. When these guys catch a break, they don't miss very often. When he finally does miss one, and then something like that happens, he's really going to hurt you.
Oh, yeah, usually.
Yeah. It's just not going to be
I'd go ahead and go into the 5 and 9 here. I wouldn't try to be too cute about it. I think just lightly into the 9 or the 5 is fine. Yeah, one of the biggest, weapons of these top players is taking advantage. Really kind of, it's almost like a miss sometimes. Whenever you luck a ball in, you can lose focus. You can wonder, hey, why did I hit that ball and miss it and have to fluke it in? But really, these guys are kind of, pretty special when it comes to leaving even the good fortune behind and getting on with the business. Okay, should pound this 2 rails, coming right towards the 7. Hard to get straight in or a bad angle. from this 6-ball he's got. Yeah, that's. And watch how he plays this, Mark. He'll play it with a little. Oh, he's going to draw it. I thought he would come out 2 rails. Okay, he decided to draw it. But either way is they pick out a way to be a little more aggressive with the stroke. So even if they come out 2 rails, they don't mind coming all the way to the head string with the cue ball. That way they're not like babying the 7 to the hole so much.
Well, we've played 6 games here now. A very fast-paced match.
Do we know who's in the junior finals?
I'm pretty sure Caden Hunkins was one, and then it came down to Lucas Werner versus Cody Allen.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know who won that match. I know Caden won his right to be in the finals. So I guess that means they played a round robin. I guess he won all 3 of his matches. We were informed that Josh Filler is wearing the exact same clothes that he wore to win the U.S. Open.
Well, I know he likes to play usually in some type of long sleeve or undershirt of some sort. It's weird. Everyone wants that to be cool when they're playing, but it's almost like it's harder to play, I think, when you're cold than when you're a bit on the warm side. Okay. I think he's going to get another look at the 2-ball. Not an easy one, of course, but these shots become so much more makeable when you have whatever option you need to shoot it with. Meaning, he doesn't have to do much with the cue ball; just come across for the 3.
All right. So this will be just ball pocketing here.
Yeah, just really a shot you practice a lot, where you just naturally come across the table with a touch of outside English. Plenty of angle to where he doesn't have to hit the ball very hard, so it should make the pocket a little bigger. Oh, he decided to go back and forth, so that means he didn't want to shoot it with a lighter stroke. And I think he's given up a shot on the 2.
Jayson knew that would be the most likely point of the match, or the rack, where he might get a shot would be that opening shot. And Josh really did not hit it well at all. Jayson Shaw is elected to take a brief player timeout.
And interesting, he takes one this early. But if your gut's telling you you need it, now's the time.
But I think, just like you said, he wants to rid himself of the 9-ball.
Right.
That's turned the whole match around here. He was likely going to go ahead 3-0 to begin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in answer to your question, there's Caden and Lucas down there practicing. Looks like Tyler Steyer is sitting on the sideline, too. Corey Doole's down there. Did you attend the Hall of Fame dinner last night?
I did, yes. It was great. It was great.
Alex made a good speech.
Yeah. They all did. Dyer, he spoke for the Janskos, Jake Dyer, Ari Dyer, and then the granddaughter of one of the Janskos spoke a little bit, and Greg Sullivan, of course, accepting his Hall of Fame induction for Diamond Billiard Products and all he's done for the sport. And Greg got a little emotional, but it was nice to see. And kind of, if you don't know Greg, you won't get to talk to him a whole lot. Just he's a little bit shy guy at times, and but really gave his heart to that induction last night. And of course, Alex with some serious moments, but lighthearted a lot of times. And it was really nice. Mike Pinoza and all the people involved in that do a wonderful job every year. And,
No kidding.
and it's amazing how wonderful a job they do every year.
Yeah.
Considering it's not always in the same place.
No.
So a lot of coordination going on with that.
Here comes Jayson. He's moving fast. Ken Schumann on the scene, so.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated.
Okay, close hit here.
Oh, no. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're back from player timeout. You can say it. Jason Shaw's running out while we're stumbling around here. He's made 2 balls.
Yeah, he had a close hit on the 2 ball, but definitely a good hit.
Yeah. You tricked me there. I wasn't sure what was up, but I see it now.
Okay, is he going to fall a little straight here? If he falls a little straight, it could become a little funny. Probably just cheat the pocket here. Yeah, try and get over his whatever he can, an
He'd
inch
just
or
make a
so.
stop shot there for him.
Now, I wonder if he's going to soft spin this or...
Shaw with his 3rd win. I first met Jason Shaw. Jeff Conway was taking him around, and he told me this guy's unbelievable and everything. And I'm like, yeah, okay, right. Because you hear a lot of that stuff, and then you think, and then it ends up, he's just another good player. But then, I saw some stuff I hadn't seen. So, yeah, I certainly did think that Conway was embellishing it, but the truth is he was not.
No, Jayson, super talent.
His dad was a great player in Scotland and used to take him to pool league. I mean, just...
Yeah, I met his dad. I've hung out with his dad a few times. Nice guy. Charlie, I believe. Charlie Shaw?
No, I don't know.
I
Yeah.
think it's Charlie Shaw, yeah.
I only heard this story this week, so...
At the Moscone a couple years ago in Vegas. I think it was 2017, I think I met him. And yeah, an English 8-ball player, his dad was. And probably still is. Probably still plays a little.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's getting the one past the side a lot. Oh, okay, so that's 2 where he could have, lost the cue ball. It was definitely going towards that lower corner. But it seems like to me he's playing more of the corner ball with spin somehow and trying to play shape on the 1. Okay, again, not even thinking about a rollout. And this one's much more difficult than the last jump he had. Similar, but I would say much more difficult. More angle, cue ball closer to the rail. He's got to carry the 9 a bit more.
Wow. Yeah, he's going right for it. Oh, thank goodness.
All right, got to roll.
But I mean, thank goodness he missed it, because I was just going to feel so bad about my game if he spikes that in again. Let's put my headset down, go on home.
Well, I'll tell you, they've each fluked a ball in this match now, but it's behind being aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes that leans towards a little more luck. Okay, got a little flat here. Right, Mark? Just a little?
Mm-hmm.
I could have held for a little bit more angle, but if he needs a little power, it's usually not much of a problem for Jayson. Watch out, 9-ball. He should just fall to the bottom rail here. Could stay above, but the angle says he'll just use a little touch.
Look at,
Well, he kind of punched it. I thought
whistles him in there. Yeah.
I thought he would use a little bit softer shot there and try and fall below the 5.
It's just not his thing, And when he's going good, that last shot falls perfect. Now he's got to consider going rail first. It's not that easy. He's looking at maybe taking it from a longer range.
Yeah, just kind of cheat the 5 a little bit on the pocket and get out to the head string area, kind of like where he breaks from. That spot would be nice.
Yeah.
Now he's looking at the rail first and coming all the way down. So this one here, you could get below the 8 to where it's not cuttable if your speed isn't correct.
Very missable.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't even come close.
Watch out 9.
Right? Didn't even come close. I mean,
well, and he was trying to like punch it off the 5 as well instead of just playing the rail first naturally and letting it float down.
I don't know if we get a replay, but man,
Yeah,
the object ball, here it is. The object ball doesn't even get near the pot. You see where it
Yeah, it's because he tried to create more angle with a little more speed and a little more downward hit. Left it tough, though, I tell you. Great shot.
Yeah. It's like a hanger for Filler. Man, what a good replay that was, too, that you could see just how he was emphasizing the cue ball, forgot about the 5 ball. All right.
Yeah, well, if you're shooting the rail first, unless necessary, you really don't want to be drawing the ball too much. It's very difficult to judge how hard it's going to come off that rail and how much it's going to take the draw.
Yeah, that backspin bends the cue ball quicker away from the rail than just a rolling ball, so it's less predictable.
Total performance average we can see here by Q-Tech.
34 balls pocketed for Filler, 38 for Shaw.
Yeah, but the errors, they really show up there. Even though he's pocketed more balls, it's been a couple times at the end of the rack that has not only caused a few misses, but cost Jayson the lead here for sure. And the almighty chance to break the balls.
Yeah.
Okay, Filler definitely playing the 1 in the side. Cue ball back and forth, 2 up near the side pocket. And the 5's going to get past. This is top inside English back and forth. I don't think he'll come behind the 3 here. I think you'll stay, kind of try to get the cue ball back to where the 2's at now.
Good shot. Just connected. Yep.
Not going to be easy, though, still. The 4 doesn't pass the 6, but he's got a nice angle to draw to the side rail and back over. He could roll it and play below the 4 as well. I like him cueing downward on this and drawing the ball back over rather than floating this 3.
Boy, got the cue ball in just the right place. And look how deep that 3 is.
Well,
that's not going to be an easy.
No, the table, he's going to have to play from underneath for sure. He can't risk trying to go around. But the table's starting to, we've seen it, though, the last few days.
He can go right at it.
Getting more broke in. So even at the lighter speed like that 3 ball was, you got to hit it pretty clean on this diamond. Wow. Heck, settling with the in between the 7-9 for that shot on the 5.
I was thinking that's where he'd go, but then all of a sudden, ooh, little dipsy doodle. But yeah, he's not backing off. I mean, he's depressed the accelerator and just going to leave it there.
Yeah, perfect here. Pretty full hit, but That's what you want, that little bit of angle here. That way controlling not only the route, but the speed is very easy to control getting to the 7.
Five four is our score. I used to laugh at Jayson with this super firepower, and it used to be if anybody ever played 2 consecutive safeties on him, he'd play one with you, and after that, he's just going. And you could just have that game because I'm going to smother you all the rest. Both players right here at 900 apiece. Accustats.
Yeah, they're both at 900, and I of course, we've seen some runouts, but still feel like it's far from these guys' best game, and they're still at 900.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A very fun match, very entertaining match.
Jayson breaking. 5-4.
Now going to the closed bridge. Oh, a nice kiss on the 1 off the point to bring it down with the cue ball. And he's got to get all the way up table again, though. Or at least, you would think to about the middle diamond somewhere on the side rail, something that to attack on the 3.
Yeah, I mean, the middle diamond on the side rail below the side pocket, so it would be a long shot.
Right.
That would be, even the way these are laying, that would be a good shot to just get where you said would be a marginal. Oh, he went.
He's trying to get on that combo. He felt like he could get on that combo a little closer.
Look how hard
Watch
he
out
hit
for
that
the long
ball,
riller
though.
here. He might try and bend this long riller right back. I'm telling you, he might. He's looking at it right now. The problem is he needs to draw the ball back, right? So when you have to draw the cue ball back, it's harder, believe it or not, to make the ball bend. It's going to get away from him, I think.
Oh, fantastic
Okay.
shot.
I thought the cue ball was going to escape a little on the side of the 7, but
The cue ball went all the way to the end rail, and he was able to get it back up to the brown 7, that's almost a diamond and a half away from the rail. That's a great shot from that distance. Like you're saying, it's easy to mess that one up. A lot of movement.
he's getting the 3 to the back rail there and cutting him off the jump shot. It's amazing when the times are crucial, how a lot of kick shots work out in these semifinals and finals. Not saying he hooked him, but he left him on the rail.
Yeah.
A real tough shot of any sort. But
I always wonder if it's because of the immensity of the moment. Look at that skidded. Did you see it?
yeah, it's that light speed, huh?
I don't know. It definitely grabbed, it twisted. I don't know if we had the overhead for a replay. You definitely see that thing.
Yeah,
Here it is. What? No, here it isn't.
Not yet, but it definitely grabbed because he never intended the 3 to catch the 9.
And it twisted.
It twisted it and went right into it there. So he may shoot at this. He's overcutting it and running the ball. Oh, no, he's shooting at it. What a shot.
Wow. Who shoots at that ball?
Well, the thing is, when you train, not only talent, of course, but when you train like these guys do, right?
Yeah.
When they make a decision that they need to shoot, there's not much aiming involved, believe it or not. It's a lot of the hours they've put in, and then they trust what they're looking at. So that's where those amazing shots really go down more and more often. It's from all those hours of making shots. And not that shot. He doesn't practice that shot all the time. It's just a matter of knowing what you're looking at and trusting what you're looking at. And then, of course, making a great stroke.
Oh, great. Okay, here's our replay of that shot. Now watch the 3. It twists funny.
Yeah, just turned a little bit.
And the speed's wrong. The cue ball, you can just see something weird happen there.
Yeah, well, when that little twist happens, that I call it a kicked in snooker or a skid in pool. Definitely always takes speed off the cue ball, almost always. Changes the route of the cue ball. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, like we saw, the 3 catching the 9, that was never intended, and I don't think he would have ever aimed poorly on that either. So
the explanation for that, which is not scientifically proven, but is that the chalk residue from your tip happens to catch the impact on the object ball, and the cue ball climbs the back of the ball before they release, and that's why they take off, one slower, but also much different than intended. You can figure that to happen about 1 out of 100 or 2 out of 100 shots with pretty clean balls. It takes the perfect, stars lining up for it to occur. 6-4 is our score.
Okay, is the 3 going to get past? It's going to be close, and I don't think it is.
Yeah, it did.
It did,
yeah.
Okay, just barely. All right.
Yeah.
Well, again, the 2 not quite making that side pocket like we've seen most of the week. It's laid up on that side rail quite often for Filler in this match. Another cross corner, maybe? Or is he going to play this one just a little more on the safe side?
I think safe. I can imagine he's going to go. Yeah.
Okay. And
he's going to be a little disappointed they didn't
very,
cover him.
I think.
But it's settled into the end rail. This is not going to be easy to deal with, that's for sure.
No, and this is where that straight shooting and that, the nickname itself, Eagle Eye, he's just got to edge the right side of this. He's got a big group of balls to try and come back behind, that being the 6, 9, 7, 4, and 5. Don't let up on it. That's the key. A lot of people let up on that clip shot, trying to really be as subtle on the 2 as possible, and then you don't get the right contact.
Look what a nice shot he just made there.
Yeah, real good. And then we're going to see the jump cue.
I'm telling you, if you want to play high-level 9-ball, you need to practice that exact circumstance because you're going to play with high-level players. That's going to be your start point.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't spend time, it's not glamorous practice, but it's important practice.
Well, a great shot. Well, the thing is, Mark, what a shot there. But the thing is, a lot of guys play those safeties to where they put the object ball on the back rail knowing that they might not get the snooker. So a lot of times you're having to play from that position with the ball settled on the back rail. And okay, 3 rail short position for the side. Did it get there? It's going to be close.
Okay, here's our second look at the Predator replay. Look at this, another dynamic jump shot. Look how high he is. And just as pure as if he was looking right at it with almost ball in hand.
Is he going between the 7, 9 and by the 8 here? Yeah, great shot.
Yeah, good call.
And he did that with a high outside ball, really, not an inside like most would. He used more force and let the cue ball kind of release those 2 rails. Pretty impressive.
Look at Filler. He's trying to be even faster than Jayson Shaw.
Well, he definitely is, I think, a bit quicker overall.
That's what happens when you try to learn to play pool and you can't afford to play time. So, learn to get a lot of balls in a short period of time.
Well, he's still a pretty young man as well. I don't think he'll ever be a slow player by any means, but I think there will come a time that, he'll put a little bit, a few more seconds into it before he pulls the trigger.
Well, we're 7-4, and really, both players have had a couple good fortunes along the way. Both players have run a couple. Well, Filler hasn't broken around yet, but really the story was a couple unforced errors by Jayson, right? Wouldn't you say that's the difference?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Jayson had a chance to, a very routine chance to go up 3-0, and then that turned into a 3-2 deficit for him.
Yeah, immediately lost the lead after that.
Right.
After that miss on the 9. And
then he came back, and he took a break and came right back. Seems like he got out.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made a nice
it
out and then
3-3.
missed the rail first on the 5 in the next game.
Oh, yeah.
That's what another big turning point in this match.
And that was where he just let the cue ball go rather than fight to get a proper angle because he just felt so confident. And so often it does line up good.
Yeah, it's amazing, though, in the biggest positions, it seems like in the tournaments that, that one point you can fall into where everything becomes really funny or really more than funny.
Yeah.
It happens a lot in these situations. So, like you said, Filler not breaking and running yet. Uh-oh.
Scratching.
Wow. But he's still at 927. An awful kiss here. And the guys know that coming across that spot there, if you hit the bottom part of the 9, top part of the 9, both the corner and the side pockets are possibilities when it comes to scratching.
Right. You'd think you'd see as many 9s as you do the cue ball go in, but you don't.
I know,
The
right?
cue ball goes in probably 5 times more often than the 9 ball does. Running through there.
Jayson gave this a little more thought, but I think keep it simple. A couple rails here for the pink in the lower right by the 6. I wouldn't come around for the side here, I don't think. Yeah, I like that. Especially with the 5 hanging. Now, I'd like to draw back to this side rail here. He doesn't have to. He came all the way down, and I didn't know that was available. And he did that in a match we did a couple days ago, and he got exactly here where it became funny all of a sudden to get back, especially because he can't reach it. So now he's got to need a thin hit here. And if he overhits it at all, Mark, it'll kind of hug and maybe not get down table. So he's got to kind of smooth this down the table if he's going to go one rail. Now, if he's going to draw it, obviously he needs power. Okay, great shot.
Oh, so often you tend to take those hangers, you take them for granted, but hangers are treacherous to play from position-wise.
Well,
he is Jayson Shaw.
I've given a lot of pool lessons before, but one of the most common ones that people I help, almost all of them eventually come to me and ask, hey, I need help with playing position with balls hanging out of the pocket.
Yeah.
It's a very funny way, funny shot. And mainly because the ball hydraulics a little bit, it can kind of spin on you unnaturally without you knowing what's going on. And good recovery here for Jayson as far as getting back on the board and 7-5.
Tell you, Jerry Bryce has a nice phrase. He says, hangers, the amateur's nightmare, the pro's best friend.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Jerry's video, a pool lesson with Jerry Bryce?
I haven't seen it, no.
You need to.
Yeah, it's good, huh?
It's so good that you'll learn 5 or 6 new things.
I'm sure.
And it's someone to listen to you. And I helped him make it, and not because I wanted to, because it wasn't my thing. It's your material. But anyway, in helping him, it was amazing because I've lived with the guy. Trained under him. Like, wow, what a good way. It's his legacy of the sport. It will help you give lessons. All right, we got loud in our microphone or our ear headsets, Pat. Yeah.
Track 13. Jayson breaks. 5.
Okay, now back to the open bridge. So, non-complying, it looks like. Oh, no, he got a second ball down. Don't know if he can get at the 3 or not.
Cue ball's right on the racking template here, the Outsville.
Would be nice if he could get at this 3, though. If he can get at this 3, he can lock him up, I think. I don't think it's offensively playable. Maybe a cross corner. And if there is a cross corner, I wouldn't doubt if he goes for it.
He's looking like he wants to kick one rail and settle the cue ball. No, he can go between them.
I think he's worried about, 3 in the side here, making this ball. So he wants...
Huh. I didn't even know that was...
Yeah.
Boy, that gap on the overhead looks so small. He could get right through there effortlessly. That's a good shot.
And I tell you, he's got a doable kick shot here, though, as far as he wants to hit this with a high ball, I think. Try and get the cue ball up table and let the 3 come back down. Let it go to the side rail and kill, maybe off the 5. That's what I'm talking about as far as a high ball. You want to continue down the table with the cue ball.
Now, just like you said, it's amazing how many times these arrange themselves in big spots when you kick and hit it that they end up getting hooked. There was a lot that had to go on with that shot for this to end up in this arrangement.
Yeah, and he should be able to put the 3 on the back rail near the chalk where he's standing. Decided to play it lighter, so that means he had to put a lot more side spin to get at it than we thought. Oh, and he's left Josh in a real funny spot here. Can't really play it in the corner and play position. You almost have to play on the side, and then are you catching a piece of the 7? If not, you're definitely catching the 6 or the 5.
And that sends the cue ball pocketward on top of not getting position. So
It'd be nice if he could float this in and catch the 6 dead full, but I tell you, if he floats it in and goes by the 7, I don't think he's going to get snookered by the 7 if he hits the 6 with the cue ball, but I don't think he can hit it hard, though. Oh, he played the corner. Man, that was a nervy shot to go at, I'll tell you. Pretty tough shot there.
Whenever in doubt, shoot.
Can he just draw into the 5 here and take the shot on the 4, I think? No?
Yeah, it looks like it.
I think he's close enough to it to where I feel like he can get into the 5 full enough to just take the shot. Maybe not. The 3's a little thin to the hole. I mean, he's got to cut it a bit, but this is where I tell people a lot of the time, get the run started here. Even if you have to take a little longer shot on the 4, it shouldn't be. Yeah, just like that. I don't think this will be a problem for Jayson. Or percentages tell us it shouldn't be a problem for Jayson. Now, he's going to come up short side, it looks like. Oh, okay.
You have to hit it awful good for it to have enough power to do that, on top of everything else. He was planning on coming 3 rails around the 5.
Yeah, just caught the 4 a little thick.
That was a delicate, good play there that he kind of made it look like it was natural, but it wasn't.
No, he played it with a lot of side spin there, being able to catch the 5 a little heavier and create the route for the cue ball.
Eagle Eye still right in the thick of it here.
Oh, yeah.
7-6 behind.
Until that last ball's down, both of these guys will know their opponents in the match.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it all this week. A 9-0 lead almost disappear for Lechner against SVB, and seen a lot of comebacks from 4 or 5 games down. Just like Shaw in his last match against Bergman.
8-3 behind.
We'll see if it's the closed bridge or the open bridge.
Yeah.
I think probably open. Cut those a bit more. Watch out for the cue ball. Oh. I believe it was complying. I believe a couple of them raced up past the head string and back up.
And he has a shot on the 1. So.
A good shot.
Yeah.
And the 2 there with the 4 near. The 3's down, so should have a tied match. Don't want to get ahead of myself. A few of them have surprised us, I think. A few misses, but he can draw this back nice. And Jayson thought that cue ball was lost when he saw it hitting that second rail going back over.
I did too.
Should just draw the cue ball back on the same side as, he could punch it over. Didn't want to fall on the rail there, of course, but one he should handle.
All right, quality break and run out there. Ties the match at 7 games apiece. This is not your grandpa's 9-ball match right here.
No, it's not.
This is a very up-tempo, high-powered 9-ball play. Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking about the 9-ball he missed earlier, and I mean, playing a lot of tournaments, it's not something I keyed on or anything like that. But I occasionally think to myself, "Hey, did I miss a 9-ball this tournament?" And I'm wondering if that's the only 9-ball that Jayson's missed in this event. Good chance it was. It's almost like scratches on the break. How many scratches on the break did I have during this tournament?
I do think of that.
Little things like that you think about. So
nobody gets to miss many 9-balls because you don't survive if you do. So.
Well, probably didn't think we'd be anywhere else besides something like 7-7 here in this match.
On paper going in, it's like, lightning and thunder here.
Mm-hmm. Kenny Shulman finishing up the rack here in game number 15. Kenny always does such a great job.
Mm-hmm. Tireless worker.
Okay, watch the cue ball back and forth. Okay, got a good kiss there. And again, not really playing the one in the side very often. And I got to believe that's intentional. That's pretty much been the case the entire match. So different ways to get it done here in Norfolk. And a natural one here. He's just got to watch out for the side pocket coming across. A little bit of spin probably. And that's a good policy there. You notice he knew that line going towards the side was there. So one good way to never scratch is never hit it hard enough to get to that pocket. It's kind of like when you're shooting a ball and you're on the rail and you're coming 2 rails towards the corner, but you got to get down there for the last ball or the next ball. And you'll get that little feeling of, man, this is going right towards the corner with the cue ball. Well, good policy is just never hit it hard enough to get there.
Very nice, nifty use of the 9-ball there. And it was all orchestrated and designed. Good control.
Jayson will shoot the 5 from a little more distance, but again, recognizing the 6 is so handy. And that's a big part of keeping the pressure off yourself is recognizing sometimes when they're laying easy for you. I think this will be about a fourth lead change in this match, something like that.
Yeah, looking good. A fourth break and run out in the match for Jayson Shaw.
And that's how important those break and runs are. We probably still have him, a good, well, now he's raised it up some, so. But those break and runs make all the difference in the world. You can actually carry a lower average on Accu-Stat average and still be winning the match by putting a few racks together. Now, that's not the case here right now, but you can see the rack track.
Yeah.
Shaw opening up with 2, and then Filler winning 4. And we have had a few lead changes. But then Jayson winning 6 out of the next 9.
Jayson handles the pressure pretty well. I mean, he's so supremely confident, and he just wants a shot. He's really, the score does not seem to affect him much at all.
Well, I'm sure it was you and I had talked about it, that I always find that the best players, and not even the best players, but the people that are, really take advantage of their talent, meaning, they're maybe not the best player in the world, but they're a real solid player for their level or how much time they get to put in or whatnot. But the people that play the game kind of by themselves when they're out there seem to be the ones that excel and handle the pressure the best. Mm-hmm. It's a long-term thing for these guys.
Right.
They know if they play solid throughout the year, they're going to have results. Off angle on another bank here. It is doable.
I think he's wanting to cut it.
I don't blame him. If the 7 wasn't there, I'd definitely like the cut shot. 7 kind of makes me feel like I might get a bad roll of some sort coming across. But we've seen Jayson want to attack. Well, may have to pull on the reins a little bit here. Now he's looking at the shot you were talking about as, am I going to be able to not hit the 7? I think if the 7 wasn't there, we'd already see him on about the 5 ball probably by now. But the 7 makes it really odd where you can not only get a scratch, but you could get knocked out of position very easily. All right, he's going to leave him that little gap, and he's going to be upset about that. He knows he just needed a couple more inches either way.
Yeah.
Okay, funny shot, though. Very hard to thin the ball and get by the 4.
Right.
Very hard to hit it thick enough and hold underneath the 4. So what do, Mark? Do you go to play or to go around the 4 then, maybe? Nah, pretty fortunate unless the 6 got lined up.
Yeah. I think he was trying to play the 4 just with the cue ball, and it's just such a tough hit.
Yeah. Jayson, he may have to play the 2 off the 6 and let the 2 come to the bottom rail and the cue ball up behind the 7. Yeah, like that. He stunned it, though, which I thought he would hit just a high ball right there. That way he could get to the middle of the end rail with the cue ball.
Yeah. Well, he tries to restrict himself to just 1 safety per game, and that was 2. So
right. And on the same ball at that.
He's kind of exhausted that part of his game.
Well, he's got to let the stroke out here, I think, and follow up behind the 6-3 and let the 2 just bank wherever it banks. It may bank in or you may make another ball, but I think it's very touchy to try and edge the 2 and go by the 4 and around. Maybe not. Maybe it's not that hard. Is that too far to let the cue ball carry up
It's underneath
the 6-3? I guess maybe it is. He's kicking it even, I think.
And getting there that way or trying to.
Yeah, but without being able to cover the cue ball up, I think that was another hard proposition. Cover the 2 ball up, but not the cue ball. But, get the 2 ball in a real nice place. Again, putting the 2 near another object ball, making things tough. This is not an easy combination by any means. And the 2 doesn't look like it plays in the corner off the 7 either.
No.
Maybe shooting at both here. I think the 2's going to end up on the back rail with a high ball. It's going to go to the side rail. Oh, he's cutting this ball. That's got to go. It's got to go. Oh, I wish I would have been able to call that one, Mark, but I didn't see him cutting that ball at all. You think that was a little frustration of the 2 safeties and really Josh kind of just playing kind of a loose shot and getting away with it a little bit?
I don't think it was frustration. I think it was that he knows that he's up against super firepower back, so he's got to try to make something happen when he gets a shot. And it's worked for him throughout the match, and as often as it hasn't worked.
He's gotten a little thin here. He may have to play off the 9, drawing this ball, I think. Just the edge of it, just a little. Yeah, like that. And notice, just like when you break balls out, how much control he had coming off that ball. It wasn't any maybes involved. Should draw over behind the 9, I think. No reason to go forward here. I don't. Drawing the balls a little better under the pressure.
A race to 3 now for who goes to the finals.
Well, there you go. Total performance average. Accu-Tech total performance average with Filler and Shaw at 8 apiece. Shaw with quite a few more balls pocketed at 85 to 58, but a couple more mistakes as well.
Yeah, Shaw has 4 breaking runouts, and I don't have Filler down for any. So that might be that ball differential right there.
Well, that and Filler got a couple wins with a 9 ball and then an 8 ball as well that were just left.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So with Filler with those wins, but really basically Jayson clearing most of the balls off the table during the loss.
Jayson just looked up here, gave me a little wry smile. Come on, let me get through this.
Oh, missed the 1. Complying break, though. The one's going to get kissed to the back rail, so we're going to see an opening safety, and not a difficult one. It's got a couple options. Probably going to bank the 1 down by the 9 and lay the cue ball on the side rail behind the 4 and the 5. Looks real natural.
I approve of that shot. That was well done. Just
Yeah,
eased it on down there.
Very good. Now, when it gets close to the rail here, I'm not as big a fan as trying to go 2 rails and like cut it in and let the cue ball go up. I might try to kick and hit this more full and let the 1 come up, but it's a difficult play either way. And I think the 6 is a little more hampering the full hit that I was talking about. So he may have to go the 2 rails trying to cut this in. Thing is, if you hit ball first on this instead of the second rail, your cue ball goes right into the 9 most likely and really doesn't do much for you as far as safety.
Right.
But if you hit the second rail first, it should go up table by the 3. Okay, pretty nice. Needs some love with this right here. Not going to get it. Well, the 6 is playable, though. I think the 6 is very, very, very makeable. And it should, unless he overhits it a bunch, he should hold position coming off the 6 and the 1 coming off the side rail for the 1 in the same pocket. Okay, we're going to have a timeout.
Interesting. All right. Well, short player timeout here at 8-8. It will be Josh Filler's chance to play when we come back. Some days I go,
It's this cartilage right here.
yeah.
This cartilage right here. And some these are very similar grades. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Funny thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Me
I mean,
too.
like,
Yeah.
no pain.
Or even if I just have a dinner break.
Yeah,
it
maybe,
comes
yeah.
back and then, I don't know how I mount it.
No, it's just like my stuff sticks out.
Yeah.
Cartilage. It gets pretty painful, actually.
Yeah, sometimes they'll just burn. Get it. Oh, I haven't seen him. This is sometimes it's Mike Howerton. So yeah, we're only waiting on Ken Schumann to return now. Both the players are here.
You know, Kenny works so hard. He needs a restroom break every now and again himself.
Yeah, no doubt. There's Kenny.
There we are, and we'll see if Filler. I think he's got a pretty easy 1-6 carom shot here. Again, as long as he doesn't overhit it, cue ball should come.
Hold on, I want to get everybody settled in.
Okay. Ken Schumann wants to hang on 1 second. Have everybody settle.
Everybody take their seats, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, thanks, Josh.
Okay.
Cue ball should come over in between the 9 and 8 off of one rail after the carom shot, and the 1 should lay on the bottom rail. So the overhit is the only problem. That's what I was worried about. You can get a little thin on the 1. If you overhit the carom, you had to hit it pretty easy. So I wouldn't say a mistake, but maybe something he didn't recognize. And also, one thing, he didn't play the carom with much right spin. If he had played it with a little more right spin, the cue ball would have went a little more towards the 8 and probably had a little better cut shot on the 1.
Yeah, that was, I don't know if he got him.
Yeah.
I don't think he did.
I think that's close.
It's open. No, I can tell by Josh's face when he walked away. He was like, oh, Lord. I don't think it was a complete bluff. Well, Jason's getting out his jump cue, so he did get him.
Yeah, and it's one he hasn't shot with this match. Depending on what type of jump shot he'll use his break cue as a jumper as well. But now that the 8's kind of close to the cue ball, he'll pull out the shorter jump cue of the two. Okay, and unless he rattles the pocket here, he's got a good chance of getting safe if he misses as well. The cue ball should go over by the 3 or something like that on this shot. One may go up table. Okay, he cut it quite a bit. He got
ball.
But the cue ball nestled behind the 5, I think.
I won't be able to jump this one.
Well, you're going to see the 1, and then if he does have to kick out of the 1, moving on the 9 with pretty good speed, I believe. Could play a curve shot here. If he felt good about the curve and comes across the 1, the cue ball might go 2 rails towards underneath the 8 here with that side spin.
That looks like he's attempting to.
Yeah, I don't think this is a bad play here. Oh, he played it real mild. So he's yeah, it worked out.
From where he was at, this is a fantastic result.
Yeah, and Josh can't afford to try and play the cue ball underneath the 8 here either, I don't believe. Can he really? This ball being nestled against the rail, you don't have much control there. I think I would be clipping the other side of this. Easy to sell straight out here. One thing, lefty can't reach it very well shooting the other way, but this is touchy. Yeah, I didn't like his chances of getting the snooker there with the froze ball on the 1.
Oh, no. This is go time for Jayson.
So a couple shots in this rack particular, maybe a little experience lacking on Josh's end. You wouldn't think much. I mean, you can't win tournaments without making good decisions.
He's won the world championship in China you couldn't find a tougher tournament to win.
Yeah, but we saw it with that carom shot where he didn't produce another offensive shot on the 1.
Yeah.
Not using much spin there, recognizing that, and then also that one there was very obvious to me though that the position playing safe off the 1 on a froze ball was very difficult. And the funny thing to me is he never really looked at another option. You know, he knew it wasn't great to begin with, and normally guys, when they're not in love with something, they'll look at some other things to maybe be able to do. So from 7-4 ahead, looking to lose 5 games in a row here. That being Josh Filler, the #1 ranked player in the world. And I'm not sure of Jayson's ranking, but it's got to be top 10. I know he's fallen a little bit in the last 18 months, but that's only because of so many have come up. Not really from him falling off his game at all.
All right, 9-8 is our score.
So Jayson, with a jump shot that he fluked the ball in and made a nice curve shot on the 1 to kind of contain Josh, and he forced an error.
Well, one thing, he had to play a safety that was, you don't know that you're getting safe. But if you can just make a decent hit, some of the time you're going to get that predicament. And then maybe something happens, you get to come to the table with a better result. And that's what happened. There was a shot that I don't know that Josh looked at for him, but when the ball was, we don't have the overhead, but he can double kiss. The problem was you couldn't double kiss behind the clutter because that brings that 2 ball back over this. Yeah. So you'd have to double kiss it this way, and it's still sensitive, but
you talking about on the 1 ball when he sold out?
Yes,
yes.
That was something at least to consider, and I don't think he looked at it at all.
Yeah, I think he just had to take the bridge and edge the other side of it and run the cue ball. I know there wasn't a ton of balls to hook him on.
Yeah.
That being probably just the 9. But it's one that he was close to the ball, even though he had to use the bridge. I think he would have been very accurate with the hit. It's just that anytime you're trying to really play subtly off of a ball that's frozen,
right,
it's very difficult to have a lot of control. And especially when you're on that on top of it angle. It's one thing if you got a bunch of angle on it and you can just bang it around table and kind of stop your ball. But, okay, prime opportunity to get to the hill.
They dressed up pretty nice here.
Yeah, it's just all about this first shot. It becomes a lot more difficult if he wants to put inside and get on the good side of the 2. Now, if he wants to come straight across and play the 2 in the lower corner, the lower left corner on your screen, actually the lower right corner on your screen now, but and draw back for the 2, I think that plays easier than putting inside here. Yeah, I like this option here rather than trying to get for the side pocket. Doesn't want to get too thin, though. So with the 4 pretty much over the hole, he can let his stroke out here, probably come on 1 rail right between the 3-7, something like that.
Drilled it pretty nice.
Yeah. And that's where the 4 being so handy makes things so much better. If the 4's on that back rail or on the side rail over there, this can be kind of tricky, but 5 goes by the 8, no problem. You'll want to see, though, he's going to want to stay below the 5 a little. He doesn't want to have to go into the 9 or forward off the 5. He wants to be able to come backwards with the cue ball directly.
Boy, he did that.
Yeah, it's perfect. Off the rail, that nice 6-7 inches. And again, when the balls start getting out away from the rails like the 7 is, the key here is not only try to get the best angle possible, but stay off the rail with the cue ball. You can almost always manufacture a little bit as long as you're off the rail.
Good shot there.
I think he was looking at powering up rather than soft spinning, going 3 rails to the opposite side pocket for position on the 9 like this. And what happens there is it's when the nerves are high. Instead of staying away from, you stay away from that soft spin and you can let the cue ball run naturally.
5th break and run out of the match for Jayson Shaw. Puts himself within 1 game of advancing into the finals.
Talking about that final, that'll be Lechner and the winner of this match at 8:30 Eastern. Come to you live straight right from here from the Sheraton. Man, I'll tell you, we've been pretty lucky overall. I caught a little bit of rain, but the weather's been just really nice this week.
Yeah, gorgeous. I've not worn a jacket one time. I've been outside every day.
Well, I think besides the booth here, only time I wear the jacket is in the arena here. In the arena, it can get pretty chilly. Okay, not only because of the number of break and runs and the lack of for Josh, you can certainly say that the break shot has been in favor of Eagle Eye.
Oh, yeah.
Produced a lot of results.
5 break and runs in this set. That's pretty strong because Filler's not missing many balls.
Yeah, and I hate to even bring it up, but both players have complied on the break each time. Okay, a little kiss on the cue ball and another kiss, so...
And another on the 1.
And a shot on the 1.
Yeah.
He may have to play a little bit off the 3 to try and get to the center of the table for the 2. I'm not sure. It's close. The 2-9 not available. Can he miss the 3 and come straight all the way down for the 2 in the side mark? That would be ideal, I think. Or is it, if he's going to hit the 3 for sure, oh, he's playing safe. Oh, he's playing the 3. Okay. What a brilliant shot. Good, smart shot, too.
That changed it. Now he can get to the 2 in the side.
Mm-hmm. And again, you can handle a little angle on the 2. Just keep the cue ball off the rail. That's the main thing here. You can handle a little long. You can handle a little short, just as long as you're off the rail with the cue ball. This is curtains, I think, Mark.
Boy, I couldn't hardly fall any better on that, too.
And this is a lot of what the top players do these days. When they do make a few mistakes, they look like they're going to make up for it by sitting their opponent down in the chair for a little while.
What is he, at 9:30 now?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to finish off the match with a couple breaking runouts.
Joshua Filler, another great tournament.
Jayson Shaw lets it out. Happy to be going to the finals. Puts his bicep up. I'd like to see you do that a couple times there, Jeremy. Good for him. Got a lot of emotion. Excited.
Yeah, and a guy that just excels here in this arena, I'll tell you.
He overcame a couple momentary glitches early in the match, a couple unforced errors that looked like it could really, instead of going ahead 3-0, he fell behind a game. And all right, well, that's our time for now. Please stay tuned. We got Rahana down on the floor with Jayson Shaw. And so long for just a while.
Rahana live from the Accu-Stats Simonis Arena with the man who just put the cooler on it, Mr. Jayson Shaw in the era. Man, how you feeling now? You got everything you want. What do you need next, though?
I need that trophy. No, I played good. He played good. Start of the match was a little bit back and forward. I missed a 9 early in the game to go up 3-0, and he kind of went on one. But then he let me back in, and I took my time out and refocused and came back with a mentality that I did on the last match. I was down, took my time out, and kind of did the same thing again.
Well, I don't think you're going to be down the next, but I think you're going to focus. If you could put it all together, at least we know it's going to be a fast match, whoever you play.
Yeah, it's going to be a good match. Max is playing really good, and I've been here, he hasn't, so maybe a little bit of pressure might creep on him, but it's going to be a good final.
All right, Jayson Shaw and his lovely daughter. What's your daughter's name?
Tell him. Liana.
Liana's in the house. Rahana, Accu-Stats live from the Simonis Araminth Arena. Jayson Shaw and his lovely daughter will be back for the finals.